I love to play hardcore Minecraft. The only problem is that I've been dealing with an issue known as the 2-episode curse. For some reason, I can never seem to survive past 2 episodes in a hardcore world. But that all changes today. Welcome to my new hardcore Minecraft Let's Play, where, if all goes to plan, I will not die after the 2nd episode. For this first episode, I have 3 main goals that I want to accomplish. Build a starter base that may or may not be a little bit over the top, befriend at least 1 pet or companion, and obtain at least 1 piece of diamond gear. With all that said, enjoy. Welcome everyone to Season 4 of Hardcore Minecraft. Now, most of you have watched or played through the initial stages of the game countless times, so I'm not going to put a lot of focus on the initial resource gathering. Instead, I'm going to use the time to explain a part of this series that I will need all of your help with. Each episode, I am going to pick a challenge submitted by a viewer that I will have to complete in the episode. So make sure to go down below and comment your challenges for the next episode. Make them as complicated or wacky or difficult as you want. I definitely feel like I'm gonna regret saying that. Anyways, back to the video. And would you look at that, not even 100 blocks away, we have a village. There's nothing like spawning into a new world and immediately having some good luck. And speaking of good luck, I see 2 extra things that are worthy of celebration. So before we even think about looting that village, let's 1, grab the loot from this ruin portal, and 2, gather some cherry blossom saplings. Because who doesn't want cherry blossoms in their base, everywhere, covering every single block? That was not what I was expecting. But of course, the real star of the show are the cherry trees. In my opinion, they are one of the best additions that Mojang has added in a long time. And also, before we head back to the village, I want to grab a few fish, because I'm hoping that we can accomplish one of the goals that we set out to complete at the beginning of the episode. And right here on the edge of the village, we have our target. Come here. Ouch. This is slightly more difficult than I was originally expecting. Honestly, it might be for the best to use a slightly more aggressive method. Come to me. Yes! Beautiful. Goal 1 completed. Make sure to leave your name suggestions in the comments below, and I'll pick a suggestion in the next episode. But for now, it's time to loot this village. Let's grab a blast furnace, some hay, a few pieces of food, more food, and we can't forget a good night's sleep. Alright, so with the village found, I think it's best that I explain my idea for the starter base, because it's a little bit strange. To put it in the most simple terms possible, I am going to be stealing this village and then putting it all together back into one build, which will become my starter base. Basically, I'm combining every building in this village into one giant house. Before we start building though, I do want to set up a little bit of a temporary base of operations and also get myself geared up a little bit more, as this is hardcore mode and I could die at any time. By the way, quick tip, whenever you build in a village and are using a house, place fence gates in front of your doors so that the villagers can't get in. Because there's nothing worse than having a villager take up residence in your home and start using your various workstations. Like, I know that I stole your house, but that does not give you the right to come in and steal it back. Minecraft logic. Before we go caving, I do want to get some quick iron, so I'm going to go ahead and kill this golem. And somehow, another one's already spawned. The worst thing possible has just occurred. Please leave. Please. Please leave. With the iron from the golems, I'm going to make a bucket as well as a iron pickaxe, as you never know, there could be some diamonds lurking at the bottom of whatever cave we decide to explore. For this specific caving expedition, I don't plan on going any deeper than I have to get some iron, as the risk is just currently not worth it. But this is a great opportunity to kill our first mob. Oh, and this creeper just reminded me that I should probably make a shield as well. And here we are, first iron of the world. Not counting the golems, of course. First iron ore of the world. I'm always super scared to go into these dripstone caves because I feel like the stalactites at the top are just gonna fall on top of me and instantly kill me. I know the chances are slim to none, but you really just never know. And in hardcore Minecraft, you gotta be afraid of everything. Even 1 block tall pointy rocks on the ceiling. Correction, especially pointy rocks on the ceiling. I was just about to start mining this iron, but there's 2 creepers behind me. Oh, and my fears are about to be realized. Please don't explode the rocks on the ceiling. That would have been the most ironic thing to ever happen in any Minecraft world. And it looks like we have the first skeleton of the world. Ouch. my least favorite mob. That right there is the exact reason why I did not want to go deeper. That appears to be a deep dark biome, and I have absolutely no interest in exploring one at this time. So we're gonna go back to the surface. I managed to get 24 pieces of raw iron, which is just enough to make a full set of armor. And if we need tools, we can just kill some more golems. Wait a minute. Is this a new village? This is a new village. That is crazy. I mean, there's more hay to mine, so who am I to complain? I will say, however, that the generation for this one is extremely weird, because this is either the smallest village that I have ever seen, or I'm missing something. I mean, it seems like there's only 2 buildings in this village. They're both more unique, but I have never seen anything like this. Chest, please have good loot. Alright, what is it with this world? I have no words. 3 diamonds, an iron chest plate, and a saddle. Woo! That new world luck is kicking in right now. Please tell me that that's my village over there. And I thought that we were coming back to the original village, but this is actually a completely new one. I don't even know what to say anymore. This new village actually has a lot more building diversity than the other village, so I think it would be better to make our starter base here, simply to make the final build more interesting. So I'm gonna go ahead and put some of my stuff down into this village, and then head back to the old village, grab my stuff, and bring it back here. It's a bit of a pain, but I do think it will be worth it in the long term. This is future GlitchNOut. It was worth it. Anyways, the trip to get my stuff was uneventful, but did take a decent amount of time because I went the wrong way around the mountain. Once I had all my stuff, I decided to spend some time farming and gathering resources. I started by luring a few cows into a pen that had generated within the village. A few sheep also snuck in, which left me a little conflicted, but they stayed until the end of the episode, so I guess I made the right choice. I then collected a bunch of the sugarcane along the river and used it to start a small farm. Finally, I created a crop farm next to the sugarcane that would supply me with food for the livestock and future villager breeder. But now that the Minecraft chores are done, it's time to start building the starter base. The first thing that I'm going to do is take screenshots of all the different village houses so that I can remember how to build them later. Once that's done, I have the long task of breaking down each village house with these wonderful, super efficient, super fast, super durable stone tools. This is going to take a while. The village is looking noticeably smaller, but the process has taken a long time. So I had an idea. Instead of manually breaking down each house, I realized I could use a more explosive method. This is very precarious, especially with the skeleton here. It's one. I hate this so much. That is a lot of creepers. Oh. That might be one of our villagers. Okay, I'm gonna call it here. 10 should be enough. Hopefully we didn't lose too many villagers. Now I just need a few pieces of sand, and with that we have crafted our first pieces of TNT of the world. Alright, let's try to place this TNT strategically. I'm gonna put one right here, and then remove the beds. That takes away some of the blast resistance. And then let's light this up. Alright. Awesome. Alright, that was a little bit less than I was expecting, but still pretty good for one piece. And then let's place the second piece right here. Get out, close the door. Yep. Is there a villager in there? No, okay, we're good. I'd say we saved about 5 to 10 minutes with this method, so not the most efficient, but it was a lot more entertaining. With that experiment out of the way, let's get back to it. After seeing how vulnerable the villagers were without their houses, I think it would be a good idea to set up a temporary area where they can stay until we can set up a more permanent trading hall. Obviously, it doesn't have to be super complicated. I think a little hole in the ground with some walls and a roof should be good enough. And as cruel as it sounds, I only really need enough villagers to make a villager breeder. The rest, well, they're not super important. Alright, a setup like this should do the trick. Now, to actually get the villagers into their temporary house, I'm going to collect all the beds and put them in there. Now, I'm hoping that once we ring this bell, all the villagers should automatically pathfind to this building because that's where the beds are. I haven't tested it, so I'm not completely sure, but let's give it a shot. Huh. They seem to just be pathfinding to where their houses used to be, which is honestly pretty strange. Okay, let's try it a little bit closer. Ah, there we go. That's what's supposed to happen. As long as we keep ringing it, they should stay in there. 5? Yeah, 5's a good number. We'll go ahead and drop 5 in there. And the rest, well, the rest can die. Oh, and I forgot to put a roof on this thing. It should be safe either way, but let's not take any chances. Now, with that out of the way, it is finally time to start building our starter base. I'm really excited. I hope you're really excited. So without further ado, let's get into what I assume will be the first time-lapse of this series. Oh, and I just wanted to show you this real quick. This is how many blocks go into a medium-sized village. It's both more and less than I was expecting. Before we hop into the time-lapse, I just wanted to say that I'm using a mod called Lightmatica, which basically creates a hologram schematic thing that I can use as a reference when I'm building. So if you were wondering why it looks a little bit like I'm printing the build rather than making it, that's why. Now, let me stop talking, enjoy. And with that, an entire village has been combined into one starter house. Honestly, I'm really happy with the exterior of this build. Obviously, the inside needs some work, but we'll get to that probably in the next episode because we're running low on time in this episode, and it's just going to take a long time to finish that. However, the completion of the starter house also signifies the fact that we have completed 2 out of 3 of the items on our bucket list for the episode. Before we go ahead and complete the last goal of the episode, there is one last thing that I want to do, and that is raiding the pillager outpost. And while I could just go ahead and storm the pillager outpost with my axe and hope for the best, I have a better idea. I'll admit I am a bit of a horse perfectionist when it comes to getting the best horse possible, so this might take a little while. Ironically, the best horse that I found ended up being the first one that I found. We have a pretty good 12.408 meters per second in terms of speed, and a little bit over 2 blocks for jump. Obviously, that's not the perfect horse, but don't worry, as the series goes on, we will eventually find the perfect horse. But without further ado, let's raid that pillager outpost. There's our first pillager. There's a lot more pillagers. Let's infiltrate through the door. Ouch, sorry horse. Go ahead and block off the entrance to the top. And we have a goat horn. Feel, interesting. Now it's time to escape. And off we go. That was pretty cool, right? Felt like Dream there for a second. Now let's see what horn we got. Alright, don't know how many more times I'm going to be playing that. Let's drop the horse off here, and then complete the final goal for the episode. Obviously, my original plan was to go down and do a little bit of mining in the deep slate layers in order to get some diamonds, but we got really lucky and found 3 in the blacksmith building of that village over there. So let's use these and craft our first diamond tool. Go diamond pickaxe. There we go. In my opinion, this has been pretty good progress for day 1. So without further ado, it's time to end the episode. Make sure to go down below and leave your name ideas for both my horse and cat, as well as leaving your ideas for the viewer challenge of the next episode. While you're down there, consider leaving a like and maybe even subscribing. But anyways, once again, thank you so much for watching. This has been GlitchNOut. Goodbye everyone.